Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today is gonna be hopefully a chill day. Tomorrow night we're hosting a Greek dinner party at our apartment, so today I'm just gonna be prepping for that, doing some cleaning, gonna go for a walk right now, and I thought I would just film the prep and the recipes that I'll be making. So if you want to follow along with my day, then please keep watching. And yeah, let's go for a walk now. Okay, I'm going to start with prepping the veggies. I'm going to wash these first. Okay, I have my oven set to 160 degrees and I'm going to pour over some olive oil, just a little bit, and a little bit of salt, and then roast them till they're nice and charred. Okay, let's make the tzatziki. Got two different types of Greek yogurt here. I prefer the yogurt with a higher fat content. This one is 5%. This one was 8%. Okay, so the yogurt is in. Next, I'm going to grate the cucumber. I like to keep the skin on, just make sure they are clean, washed and dry. And I'm going to grate them into a separate, smaller bowl so I can squeeze out any liquid. So I have about, how many grams does this? Maybe about 700 grams of yogurt, and I've just grated 2 cucumbers, and I'm going to pop this into my yogurt and see what it looks like, and then if we need more we can do the third cucumber. Sorry, I have the fan on. So with clean hands you can just grab the cucumber, squeeze out the extra juice, and then pop it into the yogurt. I know technically you're supposed to strain the yogurt, but I don't have a strainer, so I'm just gonna use it as it is. So this is all the liquid that came out of the cucumber. I'm just gonna give it a mix. I think 2 cucumbers is actually a good amount. We can grate our garlic and add that in there. The recipe that I'm using is for chicken gyros with an eggplant pepper mixture sauce type thing. I will link it down below. So I'm just following along what he's doing. It doesn't actually have tzatziki in there, but I'm gonna have it on the table anyway for people to have with bread, and if they want to put it in, they can put it in. Always good to have. I'm going to add a lot of garlic because tzatziki needs a lot of garlic. It's also going to be in the fridge overnight, so I think that'll help also the garlic flavour develop even more. I've got about 7 loaves in here. Probably going to need more because they were pretty small cloves, but I'm just going to mix it in because I can always add more, but I can't get rid of any, and I feel like if I add a good amount and then I can taste it tomorrow if it's not enough, add it once I know that all the garlic has seeped in everywhere. I'm going to add some salt. Also going to add some green peppercorns, crushed. This is a very simplified version and good quality olive oil. Currently this is what it looks like. I'm just going to give it a taste, see what else it needs. A bit more salt. I'm also going to get my husband to taste it because he's the Greek one and it's better if he tells me what it needs. Okay, we're going to add more oil. Okay, so he tasted it and said that it's good. So I'm going to pop it in a container and pop it in the fridge and then taste it tomorrow in the afternoon just to make sure. I'm going to chuck my peppers into the oven now, but look how big this is. They're all really big, but this one is amazing. So because we are making the gyros at home and we don't have a barbecue and it's also cold outside, the recipe I am using is an Aki recipe and it's with chicken. And as I said before, the peppers. Tonight, actually, I'm going to marinate the chicken in the spices that the recipe uses and then bake that in the oven tomorrow and then just cut the chicken up into chunks and that will be the gyros meat. For the bread, I am using these. And we actually bought these in Greece from the supermarket before we came here, so I've just had them in the freezer. And there's 8 in a pack. I've got 2 packs. I'm going to toast them in the pan and then pop a tiny little bit of olive oil and oregano on them. Should be good. So I'm going to burn some butter now and then whip it later. Have it on the table as just to have with bread. So I have some nice Italian salted butter here and I'm just going to pop it in my pot, burn that and then pour it into a bowl, let it cool, whip it. While my butter is on the stove, I'm going to make some bread. I'm just going to add some 00 flour in. Don't really have a recipe, I just kind of add everything in and see what it looks like. I'm going to add in some salt. I'm going to add in a little bit of fresh yeast. Just try to keep the yeast on the opposite side of the bowl to the salt because the salt will kill off the yeast. And then I'm going to add in I have some dried mother dough here, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that in. And I feel like if this works out, you can't really go wrong if you're mixing flour, yeast, salt and water in a bowl. As long as it looks right and you give it a few folds throughout the day, or even give it a couple folds, pop it in the fridge overnight and then let it rise, bake it the next morning, can't really go wrong. That's usually the method that I do. And I usually like to keep a pretty high hydration because you can just give it a couple more folds, strengthen it that way, let it rest. You get a lot of nice holes in the dough rather than it being a bit more dense. I prefer it to be a bit more light, fluffy. I'm going to add a little bit of room temperature water. So this is the dough after I've mixed it. As you can see, it's very, very wet and it doesn't have any strength at all really. I haven't done any kneading. I'm just going to let this rest in a warm area and then in half an hour, give it a fold, and probably do that another 4 times or until it's got enough strength for me to be able to bake it either tonight or tomorrow. I've taken the eggplants and peppers out of the oven and they're nice and charred now. So I'm just gonna let them cool and then we can peel them and add them to our salad mix. Also, I've given my bread dough 2 folds. This is currently what it looks like. I'm gonna give it another fold now. I'm just pulling every side, so 4 all together, up and then over the top of itself with wet hands. And you can tell that even the first 2 folds gave it a lot more strength because we weren't even able to move it in one piece when I first put it in the bowl. I'm just going to flip the ball on itself, let that rise for another 30 minutes, do another fold. Okay, I'm going to finish off the eggplant pepper salad now. So I have a clean bowl, and into the bowl I'm going to add garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper, parsley, and then we're going to put the peppers and the eggplant in, mix it all together. Done. Okay, so it's much later in the night and I'm done for the day. The bread has risen very nicely and I'm gonna pop it in the fridge overnight and then bake it tomorrow morning. And I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and I hope it wasn't too all over the shop. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you want to see more. And thanks for watching. Bye.